This is Alex from Double Move Sports, and you're watching the Fantasy Film Room. Will Fuller's football career can be summed up in a commonly used fantasy football phrase: boom or bust. Fuller was drafted 21st overall in the 2016 NFL Draft by the Houston Texans, and he was drafted to change their offense. Fuller ran a 4.32 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine, leading the entire position group for that season. So far, his NFL career can be defined by injuries and deep touchdowns from Deshaun Watson. When he's on the field, it's undeniable that he is a dynamic playmaker that changes the game, as he scored 16 touchdowns in just 39 career games played. This season, he has 41 receptions for 590 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's 14.4 yards per reception. Those stats are boosted by a breakout game in Week 5, where he posted 14 for 217 and 3 touchdowns against the Atlanta Falcons. This past week, Fuller was able to get back on track in his first game back from his injury, with 7 catches for 140 yards and a win over the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football. Today, we're going to take a look at that game in the Fantasy Film Room. Fuller saw 11 targets in this game, the first one coming early in the first quarter. Fuller is lined up at the bottom of the screen in the slot and runs an inside stick route. Deshaun Watson can't find anything and scrambles outside of the pocket. Fuller sees that Watson has broke the pocket and is able to run away from his defender for an easy completion for a short gain. The next time we see Watson target Fuller, Fuller is lined up at the bottom of the formation. He runs a crossing route, but Watson doesn't see an underneath defender, and the ball is actually tipped at the line of scrimmage and then tipped again for an interception. It looks like Fuller was open here, but it doesn't matter because Watson wasn't able to find the disguised defender beneath the zone. Nonetheless, it's good to see that Watson continually is looking to Fuller for his first read. Not much later in the game, we see the Texans lined up in another shotgun formation. Watson, even after an interception, shows a lot of trust in Fuller on a quick out route. This is a great route by Fuller, and we see the defender actually turn his hips, respecting Fuller's speed on the outside. Once the defender turns and runs, Fuller sticks him again and runs outside and gets wide open for an easy completion. Next, we see the Texans lined up in the shotgun once again. Fuller is on the inside at the top of the formation and is able to get a great release off the line to the middle of the field. He starts to turn on his hitch, and Watson is hit as he throws, and the ball falls incomplete. Again, it's encouraging to see that Fuller was able to get open on this play, and Deshaun Watson looks to him often as his first read. Even though Fuller is the number 2 behind DeAndre Hopkins in this offense, there are plenty of plays that are designed for Will Fuller to get open. Later on in the second quarter, we see the Texans with 3 minutes to go, and they're trying to score some points. Watson sees that the Colts are showing blitz, and Fuller is lined up in the slot at the top of the formation. Fuller uses a great release move to get inside positioning on the cornerback, and Watson delivers an on-time and on-target ball for another easy completion for 15 yards. Early in the second half, we see the Will Fuller that we all know and love. Will Fuller is lined up at the top of the formation here, and Deshaun Watson sees that the cornerback is isolated with no safety help. It's a 1st and 20, so they know they've got a ways to go if they want any chance to move the chains and keep the drive alive. Watson trusts Fuller, his playmaking ability, and his speed on the outside, and delivers a great deep ball downfield. Fuller is able to separate from his defender and make the play. The cornerback actually drags down Fuller just by his shoestrings, and it looks like if Fuller doesn't lose his footing here, he takes this one to the house for an 85-yard touchdown. On Fuller's next target, again, Fuller is isolated with the cornerback at the top of the screen, and it looks like the safety is not rotated over to help. Watson sees this and just throws the ball up and lets his receiver go try to make a play. Later on in the third quarter, we see Watson connect with Fuller deep again. Fuller is lined up at the bottom of the formation, and he runs a hard post route across the middle of the field. The cornerback tries to turn and run with Fuller, but Fuller has too much speed. He shows that 4.32 40-yard dash speed and is able to get a step on the defender and make a great play on the ball, tracking it for a 51-yard completion. Now that Fuller has burned this Colts defense twice, we see the effect it has during the rest of the game. Fuller's next target comes early in the fourth quarter. He's lined up at the bottom of the formation, and the defender is playing 10 yards off of the line of scrimmage. There's one obvious reason for this, and it's because Fuller has beat them deep 2 times already in this game. Deshaun Watson sees the look that the defense is giving and hits Fuller for an easy 7-yard out route. When you're a deep threat like Will Fuller, it can open up all sorts of opportunity underneath for both Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. Later on, we see another example of this on an incomplete pass from Deshaun Watson. Fuller's lined up at the top of the formation, and he absolutely roasts the cornerback with a beautiful route. Fuller stutter steps and runs as if he's going deep yet again, and the cornerback turns his body and takes off to keep up with Fuller. Before he even knows what's going on, Fuller is already planted again and is breaking out towards the sideline. Watson pushes the ball a little bit too far and it falls incomplete, but it's clear and obvious that Fuller is in the head of the defense and he is having his way with them with his route running ability. We see Fuller targeted one more time in this game, and it's in an incredibly crucial situation. The clock's running out in the fourth quarter, and the Texans need one more first down to close out this game. Fuller is lined up in a trips left formation in the center of the other 2 Texans receivers. He runs another speed out route, which he's had a lot of success with so far in this game. He earns a step on his defender, secures the pass from Deshaun Watson, and gets the first down that seals the victory for the Houston Texans. Not a bad day for Fuller. In his first game back from his hamstring injury, Fuller showed a lot of promise, and he showed why he's a boomer bust player. He was able to connect with Watson on 2 deep balls for 44 and 51 yards. Even though he did have a lot of success in underneath routes, Fuller's consistency is too difficult to predict, and with upcoming games against the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos, and the Tennessee Titans, you can't rely on Fuller to be a consistent option for the rest of the season. He's a perfect player if you need an upside guy and you need to roll the dice to pull out a win. In Week 16, the Texans do get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 32nd against wide receivers in fantasy football this season. If you're able to stash Fuller on your bench for Week 16, which is championship week, it's a perfect time to roll him out hoping for a big game. Let us know in the comments which guys you would like to see us break down next. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And for more hot takes, narratives, predictions, and fantasy analysis, check out our podcast and follow us on social media. Again, this is Alex from Double Move Sports, and we'll see you next time.